We have too many laws. For instance, 60 to 70% of the people in our jails didn't hurt anybody. Victimless crimes? What is a victimless crime except political imprisonment? That's all. And as governor, I will get them out because I don't think you and I should be paying for their health, for their room, their board, the guards pension, the prisons, the jails. And here's one everybody forgets. 80% of the time, when you take that guy, the $1 million joint, I call it, somebody's smoking a joint. This is going to be about $1 million of your dollars spent prosecuting them as they exhaust their appeals and all the other options they have available to them. But many people forget. 80% of the time, that family goes on welfare. And you get to pay for that too. Isn't that exciting? You think prisons aren't big business? You think private prisons? And I've had to rethink the private prisons situation only because I'm a privatized guy. But the reality is what we saw, the tragedy up here, cost lives. And you know what Jan Brewer thought was the appropriate thing? Well, a couple of employees got fired. No, I'm thinking political guillotine. Somebody's got to be responsible for that. There were lives lost, and they cannot be replaced. See, we as libertarians, I love to put it this way, as the ship of state is sinking, we want to save the people. They want to save the boat. It's the organization, the administration. Jan will tell you she was going to have, first she'll tell you she'd never voted for a tax increase. But the truth is, yes, she did, many times. She's a taxer. But the Prop 100, yep. She'd like to tell you and convince you that an overwhelming number of people voted for it. How many people in here voted for it, by the way? Wow. Oh, that's fine. I mean, because today you're subject to so much manipulation, it's easy to go awry. One is what the number is for those of you asking. No, it wasn't overwhelming. And Buzz Mills was the only one in the Republican primary who got it right, because only about 30% of the voters, which would be about 15% of the population, voted. And then 67% of them is who voted it in. So really, you've got about 8 to 10% of the people who just got in your pocket again. And what do we have to show for it? Better schools? No. Continued paychecks. That's all we have. And I want to see the progress of the child becoming the focus. See, I think that government education, if it has to be, and Arizona is one of those very limited, I think 8 states require free or nearly free public instruction. But it is the Constitution. I will abide by it and give them everything. But I think the objective should be changed to stop the enmity between the government schools and all other forms of learning. See, they want to get rid of the competition like they did in the Soviet Union, where they had 17 auto manufacturers, and then when the government came in and took over one, and then the other 15 went away. You know why? Because then the consumer didn't have anything to compare it to. And if you ever drove in a Lada, let me tell you about rattle trapping, because that's what it was. And it really is, when you see the overall movement, that's what we've got to concern ourselves with. Here in the state, I want to eliminate the personal income tax. I believe it's theft. When a group of people get together, I don't care if they've got a flag and call themselves government, get together and somehow try to make a moral issue and say, we're going to come take your paycheck. But we only take it if you work. Well, pretty soon, I've seen communist countries, I've seen socialist countries, pretty soon you're going to work. You're going to work, or you're going to starve to death, or you won't get health care, and pretty soon you're out of the picture. That's how they operate. You become part of the farm animals. That's all that you become. I don't think Americans need to be that way. I think that we've got to take and put a handle on this and get someone who actually will follow the Constitution to its letter, under its original intent, and will not allow any legislation to pass, like David had said, without that constitutional thread. The answer is no. It's pretty simple. Government needs to do everything it needs to do, everything it's enumerated to do, everything it's supposed to do and appointed to do, and nothing else.